It's a snow day in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm so excited. So happy. It's so cold. My fingertips feel like nothing. I cannot feel my fingers. But yeah, like, oh my God. I might have frostbite in my hands. We are gathered here today to discuss the future of this channel and my random thoughts. I feel like I need to shift the content on this channel back to what I originally started doing, because if you go look at the very first video on this channel, it has over 8,000 views, and it is a short, easy, unedited video of me at the post office delivering packages and showing people how to utilize the kiosk machine, right? And that's cool, interesting content that has value to it. And I'm like, okay, I need to start back giving value in my content, because posting what I want to post is cool, but it's not really giving what it's supposed to give. I'm finally getting to post what I want to post and talk about what I want to talk about, my feelings and my opinions. But in the way these algorithms are set up, you have to play the game in order to win the game. So I feel like I need to go back to posting value-driven content. But on the flip side of that, I'm really grateful that I even have this platform in the first place, because this is my outlet for creative freedom and creative expression. And for so long, I didn't really have that. I didn't get to explore that as much as I would like to growing up. And that was for a myriad of reasons. But I remember being a kid and I was into acting, right? My mom would take me to this place called Theater Memphis, and I would be in plays, and I really enjoyed myself. I remember one play that we did, it was a remake of The Wizard of Oz, and in it the wizard was Elvis, because we're in Memphis and that just makes sense, right, to make the wizard be related to something that goes on in Memphis, Tennessee. And Elvis is a big part of Memphis. So that was something I really enjoyed growing up. And then later, when I switched high schools, I remember wanting to be in more classes that were revolving around creativity and things that I wanted to do versus science and math and things of that nature. And the funny part was, I ended up getting stuck in this class. I got stuck in classes that I didn't need when I transferred, because I had already finished so many classes at my previous high school that by the time I transferred to my second high school, they were like, well, we don't have anything else to put you in. You'd have a gap in your schedule. So my lovely assistant principal decided to put me into a physics class and a calculus class. Now, I didn't need the calculus class. I had already finished my math requirements, but that particular course stood in the way of me taking things like a creative arts class. I just know I wanted to be in that. Like, I didn't want to be in freaking physics. I didn't want to be in calculus, struggling and having to go to tutoring and stuff. I really wanted to be in something that was creative. And if my school would have had culinary arts, I would have taken that. If we had sewing, I would have taken that, like home ec things. Because I did that in my previous high school. I took home ec in my first high school. I wish I could have done it in the secondary one. But anyway, I digress. But it was just little things like that that stood in the way of me having an outlet for creative freedom at a young age. Because like I said, I started out in plays, and because I like theatrics, I like to be dramatic and creative and expressive. And then I get to high school and it's stunted, and then that stunted feeling just keeps on with me throughout life. For example, not being able to take the class that I wanted, it really took away from my high school experience, one, and then it messed up my GPA too, because I ended up failing the class, and that tanks your GPA, and a tanked GPA in your last year of high school causes you to lose out on scholarship opportunities, and then losing scholarship opportunities keeps you from going to colleges that you want to, or picking the path in life that would be debt free. So it's just kind of little things in the past that I'm trying to go back and correct by doing things like this, by having an outlet, by having creative freedom, and thankfully YouTube is actually tied to monetization, so I could actually kill two birds with one stone by giving value and creativity. I could get paid for it. But I've been working on the shadow work journal, right? And I found this book from TikTok, and I know it has a lot of controversy to it because of the title, shadow work. People think, oh, spooky, demonic, but it's actually not that at all. It is really just making you take a step back and examine yourself as a person, examine who you are and why you are that way. And some of these little exercises in this book are very insightful. For example, we got this page. It says, fill in the blank. As a child, I was told not to speak. This made me very quiet, timid, and shy. I feel like things would be different if I spoke up for myself. I wish I could tell my child self I'm listening. I'm so grateful for my parents, but wish my guardians would have allowed me to have freedom of expression. What memories did you extract from this exercise? Being told by my dad that a child is meant to be seen and not heard. That was a big thing with him when I was growing up. Like, I didn't get to have a lot of memories with my dad, but for the ones that I do have, I definitely remember that being a big thing. Like, a child is meant to be seen and not heard. And then as you grow older, it's like, well, how am I supposed to articulate myself and communicate when that is a limiting belief that's placed in my mind that I'm not supposed to be heard? How can I reframe these memories so that they don't continue to hurt and hinder me in the future? I can talk to my dad about what he meant, where he learned this, and how it made me feel. I could rewrite the sentence to say, a child can be seen and heard. And I have been talking to my dad about this. My dad and I have a very interesting relationship. I haven't seen my dad since I was in the 6th grade, but I can easily pick up the phone and call him. Right now, if I wasn't filming this on my phone, I could call him and we'd shoot this. I would talk smack and he'd help me with advice or business advice and things of that nature. And he'd probably get on my nerves after a while because he'd start talking too much smack. And yeah, but it's so weird. Like, I haven't physically seen him, but I can talk to him on demand. How can I regularly serve myself with compassion as I would give to my child self? Listen to myself, have courage to speak up and use my voice, create space for freedom of expression and creativity. And that's what I'm doing. Finally. And I've been pretty consistent at it. My videos on this channel have been going up every Saturday at 9:07 a.m. consistently. Back to talking to my dad about it. When I did talk to him about it, we discussed why he would say that. In his logic, he was like, I said that because a child needs to be quiet and learn, and they can't be thinking that they know everything. Okay, all right, that might be what you meant back in the day, but I don't think that's what you meant back in the day. But anyways, the next exercise that I did was a fill in the blank again. And as a child, I was reprimanded for faking like I fainted at the sight of a popular politician. So there was this guy coming to my school. I was in the 4th grade, and I think he was somebody like Congressman Steve Cohen or just somebody like a local politician. When he came in our class to speak to us, I did like, and I like fake fainted in my chair, right? I'm in the 4th grade, and my teacher writes me up. She tells my mom, like I have to take the write up to my mom, and I end up getting a whooping for that. I got a whooping for being dramatic, for fake fainting. Like, I didn't do anything lewd or inappropriate in my eyes. I just, like, he was a politician. Like, he's like town famous. And I'm just like, oh. It was so not something to even tell my mom about. And it was so not something to get a whooping for. My response was to stop being dramatic. After this, I've been careful about my actions. I care so much about acting and singing. It triggers me now when I see little kids get into act and sing. I hold compassionate space for my full self and embrace this part of me. that I used to suppress to prevent from getting in trouble. Growing up, I used to have a love-hate for kids like Keke Palmer that got to be on movies and things of that nature. She was in Aquila and the Bee, and I remember thinking, oh my God, that could be me. Like, we're the same age, bro. We're the same age, birthday in the same month. Like, that could have been me. Like, all I needed was the platform. I just never had the platform, and I finally got the platform. Here we go. You know, I had the plan. I just needed the platform. In what ways have I been reprimanded in my childhood and beyond? I got a whooping for being dramatic, for acting. And I got paddled at school too. Can't forget that part. Can't leave that part out. I got paddled because we were still, at that time, it was still corporal punishment. So my teacher had this wooden paddle, something like what you would expect Q dogs to have, them fraternity brothers to have, them paddles and thick paddles. She would say, hold your hand out. Bam! It would always hurt the joints the most to me. How did this impact what I chose to do / not to do in the present moment? In what ways am I holding back because of these experiences? And child, I didn't even fill out that section. I just put a lot. I didn't even fill it out all the way and give a long detailed description. I just put a lot. What activities can I partake in to fuel my inner child and allow her to feel fully expressive? A play, making music, singing, acting, and being dramatic. In summary, it's microscopic things that all come together to make me who I am. And like I said earlier, I really enjoyed being in plays at Theater Memphis. And when I got to high school, I would have loved to continue that. Like at graduation time, I became a thespian just to get the tassel, but I would have loved to have been an actual thespian. I remember having to miss events. Like my high school best friend at the time was really into acting and plays, and she was in a play and I couldn't even go because I was in tutoring trying to pass calculus. I think I made a D in that class. Like, it was probably such a low score, but the point was I didn't even need to be in that class because I had already satisfied my math requirements to my knowledge. If you combine all that with a child is meant to be seen and not heard, plus not actually having an outlet anymore, like acting classes at Theater Memphis or acting classes in school, it just eventually starts to stifle your inner creative. And I don't want to be like that anymore. I'm working really hard to get out of that box. Plus, actually being physically punished for being lively, vivacious, dramatic, acting. Like, I'm going to therapy soon, and I'm working on it. Shout out to my mom for coming up to my high school and asking my assistant principal to please remove me from those BS classes that she put me in just to fill in my schedule, because my mom worked nights. So if she did anything in the daytime, it was really her nighttime. So for her to come up to my school was probably very inconvenient and taxing to her body. But I didn't get pulled out the class. The assistant principal refused to take me out. So here we are. Another thing that I strongly dislike is the feeling that work always comes first. For example, I was saying that I had to go to tutoring instead of going to my friend's play. And I have felt that feeling so much, always feeling like I have to focus on school or I have to focus on making money. And that prevents me from being creative. And I think this platform right here is finally a place where creativity and education can be blended into a powerful way. And I'm really looking forward to the next step in my YouTube journey. I'm really looking forward to being more creative on this channel. I don't know where we're going, but we're going somewhere, and I'm just really looking forward to it. And I hope you stick around for the ride. I hope that you like this video. I hope that you share and subscribe. Comment below some of the things that you would like to see from me. If it's something that I think I can do or think I can put my own twist to it, I'll definitely do it. And like I said earlier, my content will probably be pivoting back to business, education, and things of that nature, because that is what I do on a regular basis. Like, packing orders, shipping orders, e-commerce, Shopify, funnels, ClickFunnels, Active Campaign, SEO, eBay, Facebook Marketplace. Like, that's the stuff that goes through my brain on a constant basis. So that's what I'm going to be more than likely switching to. But I hope that you stick along for the ride. Like this video. My name is Vanezia Hamilton. Thank you so much for watching this video. And as always, when the waves of life throw sand at you, make a pearl.